So,
All right, I'm going to do this again, but if my Instagram doesn't go live, I'm going to ask you to drop out again and let me put mine back in because I think yours is
okay.
going live and mine isn't.
Okay. Cool.
And that's what's happening.
Standing by.
Oh, wait, here it comes. I think we got all the tech working.
Oh my gosh.
It just took
That
a
would
while.
be fantastic.
Yeah, it just took time to kick in. Like I said, it's delayed. Okay, so here we are.
Okay, great.
Wonderful. Here we
Hi,
go.
Wendy.
Stevie. Oh, good. I love
Happy to see you again.
when the tech works. I'm happy to see you. Welcome to Backstage
Honestly.
Live. I'm going to introduce you, and then I've got some questions to ask you. And of course, if our conversation goes sideways in whatever direction, I'm all good with that. And for some
Cool.
reason, I'm going to need to figure out the why of this one. But for some reason, I have like the light of the heavens going across my face today. No idea
It's amazing. Angelic.
why. There's actually a photo of I'm going to say this out loud now. It's going to be on the internet. There's a photo I've only shown like a handful of people, and it is me in a yoga studio meditating before class. And there is literally this like tremendous ray of light like coming right on me. It's
Ah,
very wild. And my teacher took the picture and then sent it to me after and was like, "Hello."
you must have been meditating on some serious things. Like,
Transported
what were
that
you
night.
channeling?
Yeah, it's actually pretty like it looks fake. It's so remarkable. And by the way, everyone
Wow.
around me does not have it. Like there's just this.
Just
I'm
you.
just me. I'm going to assume there was a skylight above my head.
But
Uh,
also just your angelic presence.
yeah. I was deep in meditation time at that point. All right. Welcome, everyone. Today I am really thrilled to be sitting down with Stevi Daft, a witchy live wire who's been spinning some primal, passionate, unapologetically queer anthems coming out of LA right now. She's a powerhouse vocalist, which I can attest to. We just did vocals the other day, and you
Yes.
played. It's really
Oh, thank you. It was
yeah,
great.
so fun. Very multifaceted songwriter who channels the dynamic expression of Karen O alongside the provocative bravado of Bowie, favorite. All against a very grunge rock backdrop. And beyond the music, she's been on a profound journey of world building with me in Compass. And the
Yes.
process of becoming that's shaping your sound and your artistic universe. And we're going to dive into that conversation around your process with your new EP on the horizon.
So juicy. Love
So,
it.
so, and this feels like a perfect moment to dive into what it means to build a world as an artist and embrace all your contradictions and create something that really cuts to the heart. So, thank you, Stevie, for being.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. I'm really excited for this conversation. It's been a journey.
And I'm very visual. I'm sure I've told you this, and I'm horrible with names. I should stop saying that and reprogram my brain to be like, I'm fabulous at remembering names.
I
But what
know
I
all
remember,
names.
yeah, I know all names. But what I distinctly remember is sitting down with you in LA at that favorite little restaurant when we first talked
Yes.
about Compass and why you wanted to do it and where the hesitancy was and what your desire and goals were and where you are
Yeah.
now. Like, I remember that conversation so clearly.
I love
And
that you remember that.
yeah, yeah. And I was very aware of like you being on the brink of something. And I feel like you're past the brink and you're in this very, as you said, juicy creation and discovery and launch of your artistry today, like today's artistry. And it's really exciting.
Thank you. Yeah, it does feels like a new chapter for sure. For
Exactly.
sure. And I
Exactly.
actually just pulled an oracle card last night just preparing for this. I always got to do a reading, and the spring card came up, which just feels so apropos for this moment. It was like, you've done the work, like you've gotten through winter, and now it's time to let the bulbs like burst on their own. And it just feels like exactly what's happening. So Yes,
I
it's a good
love
time to chat.
that. That's also the
Yeah.
second time today I have heard literally, like, the bulbs blossom, like, they just can't help themselves.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Really?
Yes. Who said it to me earlier? Um,
Yeah.
an artist that I just started working with, it was our first session, and we were talking about why you make music, why do you sing, and which, of course, I ask everybody,
Yeah.
and that's what they said. They said, like, I think they were quoting, it was like, it's just like a flower, like, that has to bloom, like, I just have to bloom, and like, these songs have to come out. I'm like, here you are talking about where it's spring, and these things have to happen.
It's so real. It's so real. Because I feel like when you're in the winter of it all, it's darkness, right? You're like, you don't know what's going on, like, you can't see, you're just like, "What am I doing?" It's like,
We might even
you
be
know.
hibernating.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I for sure hibernated. I pretty much went dark for, like, 9 months or so, and just came started coming back out, about a month ago, like, kind of unveiling this new next chapter, so it really does feel like a springtime.
I think that is so healthy, like, our world and social media, like, I'm gonna use the word demands of us to be like, a song every month, and nothing wrong with that also, or there is something terribly wrong with that, but the 9-month, the hibernation, and that's very old school. I mean, that's how albums were made. That's how I'm gonna go away from my regular routine. I'm really gonna go into
Yeah,
a space, into a place that's not my usual place. I'm gonna, Sinead O'Connor made an album in a castle, and the Bee Gees went to
um,
Miami, and right, like I'm gonna go to
and
a
Bowie
Bon
went to
Iver.
Berlin.
Who's that?
Bowie went to
Bowie went
Berlin.
to Berlin,
Yeah,
and Bon Iver went to a cabin in the woods, like, you go to create, and you do cocoon and hibernate and marinate, and so that you can emerge with something that's unique, and so I think it's very powerful that you've done that, it's great.
thank you. I just feel like, most artists, musicians, and probably all artists in all mediums are feeling that, like, just pressure to constantly put out and put out. And there is a lot of, like, that's wonderful to engage with people in that way if you're feeling it, but if you're not and you, like, need to take a moment. I think there was a mentor in our compass group who mentioned that they're like, it's okay to wait until you're ready to do it,
Yeah.
and, like, gather yourself, like, so you're coming on as, like, a full person and not kind of a fragmented, like, I feel like I should be doing this. So
I think the same with you the way social media is today, and I mean, the fact that you have your own TV station is remarkable, but, I think a lot of people go public too soon. They're not really ready. They put their first songs out there. They're not I'm using the word, they're not really ready.
yeah,
Now, is this right or wrong? I don't think it's ideal. I think, getting more clarity about yourself, having more confidence, like, I think that's all stronger to do first. That being said,
yeah,
some people have the confidence and they just put their first song out and they build an audience and people love to be like, "I've been on the journey since the beginning." You
yeah,
know, "I knew them when they weren't that good yet," like,
right.
so it's not I can't say right or wrong. I really can't. But
Yeah, right, it's like you don't wanna wait too long.
yeah, I mean, don't wait till you think you're ready in some ways, but I
Yeah,
also think there is an intuitive, like, the same way you know a song is done, the album's done, that, like, there is an inner dialogue and an inner compass that you get a read on and say, "Okay, it's time, let's go." Um,
yeah, mhm,
and so, yeah, this is
definitely.
part of that conversation. So
Gotcha.
let's talk about this world building. Like, what does that mean to you now as an artist? Like, visual, sonic, spiritual? Is it something else? Like, what does this idea of world building mean to you now that you've gone through this process?
I think the number one word is holistic. I think of it as the whole thing now, and I think I wasn't ever really locked in on my visuals before, pairing them with my art. It's like I'm a tourist, like, I have my aesthetic. Yes, I know the things that I like, but pairing them with the music in a way that feels cohesive was never really my strength, and
Mhm.
or even, to be honest, even my interest. I was just like, I love performing and I love singing and I love writing and playing and collaborating with people, and that's what I love about music, is the connection. And I think a lot of the times the visuals were secondary, but now, after having gone through this whole program, and it just like keeps getting deeper and deeper afterwards, by the way, like it's
Yes.
still so much to dive into, and that keeps unfolding. And I actually just even went back through my compass workbook last night, and I was like, whoa, i'm I'm realizing I was talking about some of these things a few months ago that are happening now, and they're in my subconscious now. It's just the way that I'm like operating,
Yeah.
um that I, in a way I wasn't before. And one of those things is like the intimacy that I wanted to show, which we can also get into that part later. But I just think, as far as the world building goes, it the visuals are helping to tell the story for me now, and it's everything all together.
That's awesome.
That is what
Tell me about
builds
tell
the
me about
world.
the intimacy. And I agree with you, like, so a lot of what you learned about yourself was unconscious before, and it became conscious, and now you're aware, like, your archetypes. It's not like they weren't there before, but now you're very clear about your archetype, and you know the 3 that you're right, and what you're doing with your album, but
Yeah,
so your unconscious became conscious, and then the
yeah,
connection got to sit down again, and, like, you get to just make all these choices with that clarity, and it's
yeah,
the unconscious is still running,
definitely.
you're just now connected to it.
Yeah, I think, like, yeah, the archetypes definitely fed into this for sure, because my top 2 were the lover and the fool, and I think, like, part of the thing with the lover is being able to be intimate and vulnerable, and I realized I was not really showing that vulnerable side of myself, or let alone the fool part, like the part that like likes to make people laugh, and that was just not present in either my music or my visuals really before. And it's something that I'm definitely embracing, and it's scary. Like, there's definitely still really scary aspects of it, because it is vulnerable, and that's always
Yeah.
gonna be a risk. um but yeah, I think we
Being
also.
yourself is vulnerable,
Yes.
right? If we're wearing masks, it's painful because we're wearing masks and people don't really see who we are, but it's not as vulnerable because 'cause you're like, "Well, they don't really know me." And then that's the pain point too. "Oh, but they don't
Yeah,
really know me." But so it is
yeah.
vulnerable, but it's also a million times more rewarding,
Oh, absolutely.
internally fulfilling.
Absolutely. And I know that you've heard my song Spark, that it's coming out in January, and that is probably my most vulnerable song ever. And to just really allow myself to write that and really go there was really important to me. After having gone through this whole journey, I was like, okay, it's time to put that out there too, because it's a very big part of who I am. And I think, because my artist name is my actual name, it can be a little bit daunting, like, everything needs to be, like, representative of me, and, like, whatever anyone sees of me as an artist is how they're going to view me as a human, and, like, they're very, like, intertwined and tangled in some ways. But we talked about a spectrum in Compass, and how, like, okay, are you an extrovert? Are you an introvert? I realized I'm really an introverted extrovert, and I'm sure there's, like, more sophisticated labels than that, but just kind of realizing, like, yes, like, when I'm Stevi Daft as the artist, I'm very, like, extroverted and out there, and, like, energetic, and, like, in your face, and unapologetic, rebellious. And then there is the other part of me that does need to be shown as well, which is the, like, really sensitive part. I'm just like a sensitive little flower, actually. So,
I
yeah.
love that. I love that.
Yeah.
And that song Spark is amazing. I'm super excited that it's coming out. And right now
Thank
you can
you.
see on your, on your socials the visualizer and the teaser for Cake,
Yes.
which is fire.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
I
much
keep
fun.
seeing this in the work that's coming out from Compass. I see it in that, like, I remember when you showed well, we went through the process of looking at artwork and then making big adjustments to it, and then you came with Cake, and then we made some subtle ones, but also just,
Mhm.
like, a reference to the fact that I'm like, it has a bridal feeling, but it's like this
Yeah.
scary, not like edgy. Oh my God, what's going to happen? Something doesn't quite sit right. But there's this wedding bride aspect
Yes.
to it with the blood, and
Yeah.
these layers is what makes the truth. It's what makes the curious happen. When I
The
see it,
layers of the cake.
yeah, the layers of the cake. It's true, like, you just keep getting all these flavors, and you're like, "Oh my gosh, this makes me curious about you." Also, I don't know, you just said
Awesome.
about being the fool and then being silly and fun. It's also a fool for love, right? The lover can be a fool.
Yes. Oh, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. Been there.
Yeah, of course, is it?
Which is actually where cake came from. Yeah.
There we go, look at
And
that.
I am really trying to lean into that, like, campy side of me as well with this. It's like, it's not serious, it's just me being a little psychotic and, just having fun.
I love it. It's where we get to play. If you're on TikTok, come join my
Yeah.
Instagram Live or my YouTube, and you can see Stevie and I having the conversation, 2 people. Um
Yes.
How if you were to describe, like, pre-Compass, like, your artistic identity and post, what would be the difference? Like, how would you describe it now? Like, what shifted or crystallized in this process? I know you said one thing about being, like, just very holistic, which is phenomenal.
Yeah. I mean, and I kinda touched on this before, but just the visuals weren't locking in for me, and
Mm,
so I just really felt honestly, I felt very lost and unsure what the next phase really would look like for me.
mm,
Um, I've been in many bands and written lots of songs, don't have as many out as I wanted because I feel like every time I would want to put one out or move forward with it, I was like, I don't know what this world is. I don't know what the message is. And I would like get lost in my own like hall of mirrors, you know? So I feel like now I have a focus that I've never had, even when I was in like my prime in other bands, like the height of other bands that I've been in. I feel the focus in a way I never have. And there's something to go back to, like, whenever I might be questioning things or like unsure for a moment, I have this whole like rich, first of all, just the workbook to go back to, and also just all of the excavating that I've done that's already just in there. It's like, no, you do know what you want. We've gone over this, you know?
that's
Yeah.
awesome. I love that.
Like
Somebody
trusting
yeah,
myself.
yes, trusting yourself. And trusting your vision. That's fantastic.
Mhm.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
The, yeah, I feel like that's an important message to just say, like, that is what people are getting from this process is that trust in yourself and your vision,
Yes. And
which
it's like
is
obviously the doubt never like really goes away, and I do feel like that's what makes us not like sociopaths or
yeah,
whatever.
being
Um,
human.
but yeah, but it is also just it doesn't last as long, you know? There's a way to come out of it.
Yeah.
There's a map. There's a compass.
There's a
There's a
compass.
compass.
Again, someone was talking to me recently about this, and as you said, the doubt or, um, I just think it's a normal part of the process that, like, right before you're gonna release something, there's, "Oh my gosh, is the mix right? Maybe we should change this," and all these things will come up, and, like, if you someone had told me this when I was having that moment, if you're questioning things that you haven't questioned for the last month or the last 2 months, it's just fear kicking rearing its
Mm,
head because you would have heard something in the mix,
That's so good. That's
right?
so good.
You would have heard it and questioned it many times already. So
Oh
these
my
last
God.
minute thoughts are that's just fear going, ah, bah, bah.
Yes.
And
Yes,
truly, like
absolutely.
as you said, you went away for 9 months. So you've literally been pregnant. You've been about to birth your babies, right? I'm about to
Oh my gosh.
deliver
Yes.
this album. What if the world thinks my baby's ugly? Like it that's just a very normal um a normal fear that every artist I've ever worked with has right before release. Because it's a lot of work that and a lot of work that in many ways like you may already be also focused on the next project or the the release process or the next single, but
Yeah.
some artists feel like, "Oh my gosh, I don't feel as connected to it now," but there's also this, "Oh gosh, I know what it is, but no one else does, and how's everyone gonna receive it?" And
Oh my
just
gosh,
super normal,
totally.
super normal.
Thank you for that reminder. Yeah, because Kate comes out on Friday and, there is that little last minute thing of like, "Ah, like,
Yeah,
did I miss something?"
I know. Should we have used the other mix? You know?
Yeah, yeah, any number of things.
Right?
Yeah,
Any number of things,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. Tell me about, how you are incorporating or have incorporated I know you pulled the card last night. Like, how are your magical practices, your witchiness, like those elements, how are you intentionally using those? I know we without giving it away, because I know that looking at, like, for example, one of the photographs you showed me, we came up with a really big idea for, like, the live show and social media and such. But ho so how
Yes.
like, how is that in play into your world building?
I would say definitely visually. It it's always been there spiritually
Hmm,
and, like, in my process. Like, I definitely will start a songwriting session with my tarot or oracle cards, um, get my, like, incense going, burning my Palo Santo, like, et cetera, like, getting the vibe going and like, being in my spiritual space, like, having a specific candle. Actually, that is something that I've been doing for so the upcoming EP is called The Lover Seething, and it's a twin EP where the first one is about like the dark side of love, and then the second one will be about the brighter, more like falling in love, crushes, things like that. And so for every songwriting session, I would light my lover's candle. And luckily it's a tarot card, so there's candles out there.
right, right, right,
You
right.
know? But yeah, so it's like always been in the process, but I would say it's coming in visually in a way that I it's coming in a specific visual way.
Mm,
My song Vertigo that came out like a couple of years ago, that was a ritual. That was me doing a spell, and the music video for it is definitely like, has these witchy themes going on.
yeah,
But Cake is specifically more dialed in, is what I would say. Like this, what we're doing is a voodoo doll cake that I cut into and, manipulate. And so there's a little bit more of like a specific visual lane
yeah,
for each of
amazing.
these, if that makes sense.
Excuse me, that's amazing. And oh, excuse me.
Yeah, it's fun.
And, as I think the fact that you went from, like, I couldn't get a handle on visuals at all to, like, everything is feeding visually for you. Like, it's like a just a sense the other part, right? The candle and the sense like, all you were using all your senses, and now this sense is really turned on, and we do live in a very visual world, and with social media, like, you just, like, you get to amp that up so much now and feel connected to it. It's exciting.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And like you and I've talked about, like doing an altar for each song, and each little piece on the altar is, has a real connection to my life or the way that the song came about or the person that the song's about. And so it's like furthering the ritualistic aspect of
Amazing,
all of this.
amazing. Feels like
Yeah.
rituals needs to be, like, part of the language of the album, like, the ritual.
Ooh, okay, I love that. I should be taking notes, like, literally
Performing it.
every time we have a call, I'm just like, "I gotta be taking notes here."
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's a song rituals, or maybe it's just part of, like, maybe it's just part of the storytelling of the album, like,
Hell yeah. Yeah,
uh,
no, it is true, like, each single is going to have its altar,
yeah,
and yeah,
I
it's very
love
much
that.
part of it.
Yeah, I love this. And
Thank
again, this goes to the depth, like, the photo you showed me with the altar, um, I would I said to you, it's like, it's so intriguing, like, we shifted the photo because the altar was so distracting, right?
Yeah.
Like, it was drawing all my attention, but it was like, "So tell
Which is
me
cool
about
in
it."
one way, but yeah,
Yeah.
a little
Yeah, yeah,
distracting.
totally. But that's why it's like it has so much meaning and value that when you do use it in layered ways, that's why I'm like, "Oh, I am so drawn to it, that we need the connection to this, like, I wanna know more about it." And this is to
Right.
me, like, this is where, like, everything that is gonna be on each altar, because it means so much to you, I'm gonna be curious about it as an audience member. I'm gonna wanna know more about you and this song, and I just need to listen to it because
Yeah,
it's so rich with meaning. Did you see the film
definitely.
Sinners?
Oh, not yet, but it's definitely on my list. I worked on the trailers a little bit.
Oh,
Yeah,
amazing, amazing.
yeah,
So, I just saw it and I knew, like, when it came out, I just saw the posters and I heard a little bit about the film, like, and the filmmaker, really just the filmmaker. I was like, "I wanna go give this movie my money, like, I wanna support this film."
yeah, definitely.
And then rando, I heard it's a vampire movie. I'm like, "What? It's a vampire movie? What are you talking about?" And,
Yeah.
the thing that I would say, like, I've watched it now twice, and I'm definitely gonna watch it again. Um, there I won't give anything away, I just you'll know when you see it what I'm talking about, that the layers and the layers and the layers in that film are just magnificent, and it's like it's almost too much to even understand. It's because it's
Whoa.
so, yeah, I think I'm gonna cry, I'm about to cry.
Oh,
It's so
wow.
spiritually deep. It is layered in history and truth. Um, it
Mm,
eh, it's remarkable. It is so
wow.
remarkable, and I've watched it twice now to, like, take it in again, to, like, feel
I
impacted
was gonna
by it.
say that sounds like a multiple watch, multiple views
Yeah,
kind of project.
and the music in it is phenomenal, but this is,
Ah,
when and the movie was so, so successful, and I I contest that a big reason for that is that the the layers and the depth and the meaning in that film is so deep, like, you can't even grasp it all, even if you get, like, "Oh, I
wow,
get it.
wow.
I know what they're saying," but it's so deep, and that's why people are like, "I have to watch it again, I gotta tell my friends about it," and that's what you're doing in your world building, where you're like, "There's an altar, and every single thing on that altar has meaning to me," and deep meaning, not like, "Oh, that takes me back to this relationship, and, like, that has 7 years history up in it, and then this one," like, that's the stuff.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah,
the stuff that makes, like, you come alive and feel deeply connected, and then we are just I don't have to know what everything means, I feel the meaning, right? I'll never understand it fully, it's your
yeah,
story.
you can sense it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the
Yeah, like,
energy is so strong, the layers are so strong.
thank you so much. Firstly, it's, like, such a compliment, thank you. Um, yeah, again, what a journey. But, like, one of the things that they would so I have a theater degree, and one of the things that one of my acting teachers used to say is, like, "The audience isn't stupid," like, believe in, the wisdom of your audience as well, and I I think in some ways we can, like, be like, "Oh, no one's gonna get it," but I think people do, and even if they don't really know exactly it, right? Because it's like, it's my personal life, whatever,
Yeah,
but they're going to feel something
yep.
from it, and they can make their own meaning too, and that's, like, what so many people do with music. I mean, that's what
Whoa,
we all do.
100%. So
Yeah.
I refer to my friend Agnes, who's a painter and a sculptor and an artist, fine artist. and she invited me to her studio to see a new thing she was doing. And she was working on, she's a painter and she was working with wood for the first time and building like these three-dimensional, they were, well, one was an actual sculpture that came up and the rest were like three paintings. They were paintings, but they were wood. And it
Oh,
was
cool.
literally white on white. So it was white paint, white background, and she actually made her own white. Okay, so
Wow.
yeah, she made her own white, and they were geometric shapes. And I will tell you, like when I looked at the art, I would be like, traditionally, I don't like this style of art, but I just couldn't stop staring at it. And I was like, I
Hmm.
feel like I'm looking at the universe and humanity and like and our species of people. Like there was just all like I'm again
Mm.
I'm gonna cry. Like there was just so much hit me when I looked at this white on white geometric shapes.
Oh
And
my gosh.
and
That
she
reminds me of something.
oh, you're gonna tell me. And she told me, she was like, that's what I was creating. I was creating the connection of humans. I was looking at our universe, our existence. And I'm like, you did it. Like you gave me all of that with wood, white, and geometric shapes. Like that's incredible.
Powerful.
Yeah, that's incredible. That's art. Like that is the power of
Yeah.
art and a really good artist. But
Yes.
she had all of these layers and all of this intention in there, and then it landed.
Yes, right? And it's like it's a little abstract if I'm not
Completely
mistaken.
abstract, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like she could be like, I'll never show anyone this. Like, no one will get it." You
It's
know?
yeah, well, she did a show, and then I went to the show. Let me see, and, um, uh, yeah, I'm just looking because 'cause I'm the worst with this. Wait, I'm just because 'cause I'm saying Agnes because I do have her name. Because again,
Oh, yeah.
when I want a name, it just disappears from me completely.
But you know all names now, Wendy.
I know all names.
You know, I was gonna tell
Yes,
you about
Farley. Agnes
an
Farley. Oh, see, I was gonna say Barnes, and I'm like, I know I'm wrong. Agnes Farley,
barley.
I wanna give her credit. So you can all
Okay.
go look up Agnes Barley. Um,
Ooh,
yeah,
yes, I'm writing that down.
it was so meaningful, and go watch Sinners and go
Oh,
subscribe and just go subscribe to Stevie so you can get the new single and the album and all the depth that's coming with all of this. If y'all
oh,
have
hell yeah.
questions, please drop them in the comments. We'd be so happy to answer questions.
Definitely.
Yes.
Side note, this is a very random side note, but
Side note, go.
there is a sculpture that Louise, I believe you say her last name, Bourgeois,
Louise Bourgeois.
did. Yeah, and it's called Spring, just bringing it back full circle, and it is white and has geometric vibes in it. I think you would love it. Definitely check it out. It's very, very interesting. Can even send you a little
It's called
article. I was reading
Spring.
about it last night randomly.
That's first of all, we're back full circle with spring, which
Yeah.
is incredible. Yes. Oh, that's super interesting.
Yeah.
It reminds
Yeah.
me of a like a traditional African sculpture
Mhm.
of the human body.
Yes, it's like the human form and it's also like a bulb, like springing
Oh,
forth. And
mm.
then there's something about the white that feels like really, like cold almost. And yeah, it's interesting. It's
Yeah, it's super
interesting.
interesting. Also, to say something like I've never told anybody, at the end of Sinners, she's wearing a white lace dress, very particular kind of white lace dress. And when my stepfather passed, I saw his transition, and everyone was wearing that exact type of white. It's not lace. It's like it's not lace because it's not lace. It's cut out though. I don't know how to describe it.
Mm.
But literally in this final scene when she's in this outfit, I won't give you it all away as soon as but I saw that and went, oh yes, that's how everyone is when you transition. They were all celebrating and wearing clothing like that. And I was like, "Oh,
Wow.
yeah." I was like,
Okay.
"Someone else has seen it too."
I cannot wait to see this. I can't
Okay.
wait to see this movie.
I hope it lives up to my
I've been
my
hearing it's
love for it.
great, so you're definitely not the only one. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's quite remarkable. Music's really, really great.
Yeah.
Um, Okay, let me talk about some other things in your process here. Let's see. Oh yeah, I like this. So with your music flashing between like sultry, lovesick laments and effervescent theatrical fireworks, the fool and the lover, um, was there a moment when you gave yourself permission to contain those differences, those layers,
Mm.
as opposed to choosing one lane? Like you talked about like, oh, I'm allowing myself to be the fool. And I feel that that is definitely something, again, I keep hearing in from people and in these conversations was that Compass is giving permission to do these things you really always wanted to do or be that person and allow like a part of yourself to be seen. And side note, Shell, if you can make note of these two things that we've said, because they're really important, I think that we should make sure we share them in our Compass conversation on the website. Like this part of like the trust, you had mentioned that like you really trust yourself and your choices, and this part too of like, oh, I realize I haven't been showing that side of myself, and now I'm really leaning into it. So where did that
Yeah.
permission happen, or how?
Yeah, I do feel like it is permission. Like I almost feel like I was waiting for someone else to give me permission. And it's an interesting topic to just dive into permission and like who is allowed to give it, you know? Um, and ultimately you do have to give it to ourselves. And I think that being an artist, it can be like an echo chamber in a lot of ways. It's just like us, like crying in our bedrooms, or maybe it's just me, but
It's
it's
not just
just
you.
I'm just like, I don't know what to make of the world, or like whatever. But I think that's the cool part about Compass is that it's like it is a community of people and there are other people to bounce it off of. It's not just you there, and it's also it's a way to do it that we don't get as often
Mm,
and as readily, because when we are connecting with people, it's usually with a finished product. Like a lot of the time, people are hearing the song already done.
yes,
And
yes.
so to be able to share it with the community of artists that we have in Compass, it's like, you know, getting the encouragement when you're maybe just not even sure if it's a good idea
I love that.
is is really helpful. It was helpful for me because like I said, I'm just very sensitive and sometimes I tend to like talk myself out of things. So and honestly, and your encouragement helped a lot to just be like, okay, someone else is seeing this. Like, like I felt seen, honestly. Yeah, I
I
really
really
felt
just see my
seen.
role as, like, that's how I see myself. My job is to help you see yourself, and just if I'm given permission, it's like, you have permission to do you. Like, I applaud and champion and support that,
And you
and
are a badass at that. You are very encouraging and yeah, you lift us up and I don't think I've really had that type of a mentorship in my music before. So it's been hugely instrumental in my growth. So
I'm so
I
glad.
appreciate it.
I'm so
Yeah.
glad. There's a really interesting, um, study. I'll summarize it. This guy gave a whole TED talk, and I listened to a whole podcast about this guy. It's really amazing. But he basically put a computer screen, no keyboard, just a mouse and a computer screen in the slum in India and left it. And he and walked away. Came back a few months later, and he could monitor it from where he was, and the long story short, he duplicated this thing like numerous times to create an actual study that and showed like the timing was the same, the situation was the same. Um, one group of people, ages like they were all ages, like ages 8 to 16, would looking at this thing. They all learned English in order to get on the computer and read the work that was on it. One of them had
Wow.
quantum physics on it, and he said they all learned English before they could read the content that was on there. And then he came back months later because they stopped typing, they stopped working on it. He's like, "So you guys are stuck?" And they're like, "Yeah, we figured out XYZ, but now we're stuck here." And they were stuck at like a master's level, PhD level of quantum physics.
Wow. Wow.
Amazing. And what they showed through this process was for education, what works best is multiple age groups, leave them alone. What they need, what people need, one second, I'm just making sure this doesn't go up. What people need is basically a grandma. You just need a person in the room that someone runs to and says, "Oh my gosh, I did this. Let me show it to you." And the grandma says, "That's
Yeah.
fantastic. Do
Yes.
more."
Literally.
That was it.
Literally.
Like
Yeah.
Grandma Wendy here. Like
Oh,
they
yeah.
everyone just needs an abuela, a person of encouragement. But we as
Yes.
humans are curious, and we need different ages because we actually all help and mentor each other. But that's you saying that, like,
Literally.
voice of encouragement. I was like, oh, this guy did a whole study that we don't need schools and teachers and information. What we need is being allowed to
Wow.
roam our curiosity
Yeah.
and one person
Oh,
who just encourages us on the path. That's it.
yes, like you said, playing as well. Yeah. Oh,
Explore,
I
play,
love
try
that.
things, be excited by your own curiosity and process. And then
Ah,
someone over here going, "This is
yeah.
that's awesome. I love that. Do more."
Yes. Ah, yeah, it's so true. Actually, my
Yeah.
grandma is one of my spirit guides, and
Oh, I love that.
it is helpful
Oh, I mean,
in all senses.
I know that in our process, I've actually imparted a lot of skill and process and stuff, but it really is just it's all to help you see yourself. It's all to help you know yourself. It's all to help just turn the mirror here and say, and then I'll see things in the mirror you're not seeing. Like I'm just going to reflect to you, hey,
Oh,
I also
yeah.
see this and I see that, and here's some ideas of what you could do with that information.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
but
I've
yeah,
been getting intimate with the mirror.
yeah. That
Yeah.
looks like a music video.
It's yeah, I'm starting a new song about that, like the shadow side and like the things that you don't want to see. Yeah.
You said that earlier too, House of Mirrors, like you could like you said something about the House of Mirrors. Like so that seems like a
Yes.
visual for like the House of Mirrors and the reflection of the mirrors. Like
Uh
you got that whole one for that song right there.
see see everyone, this is what Wendy does on the calls. Like you say one little thing and then she's like, you can do this, or this is like giving me this. And it's like, oh my God, that's yes, I love that. That is where I was going. I didn't even know, you know?
And then
It's
you can turn that obviously into like visuals on like your live
oh
show, a
yeah.
whole House of Mirrors. It could
Yes, like an
be
immersive experience
yeah.
at a show. Yeah.
Then
Oh,
you could talk to Corey Infinite, who could make you a whole outfit, which is House of Mirrors.
what? Who's Corey
Or
Infinite?
go check out Corey Infinite, Cory. He is an outrageous, amazing, creative costume maker. I say costumes because everything he makes is just so
Writing that down.
larger than life and designed for music artists. And yeah, amazing.
Oh my
He made a whole
gosh.
suit of forks. He's made shoes of keyboard, like the interior of a keyboard. He took like keyboard clicks and made a whole suit of keyboard like letters. Like he,
Oh wow.
yeah, go check him out.
Oh,
He's amazing.
fascinating. Oh, I
So
love fashion and stuff
something
like
of
that.
mirrors. He's going to do something with
Art.
mirrors for you.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And again, just an example of like, I'm going to take my vision and go all the way with it. I'm going to do this thing. It's incredible
Yes.
designer. Yeah.
Oh, I
Amazing.
wrote it down.
Yeah. Um, what would you say is, let's see. Okay. When you go to create now, writing, producing, preparing a performance, like what would you say is different now?
Hmm. Yeah. I think now I'm thinking more cohesively about the project as a whole. Um, for instance, with The Lover, I knew I was going to be like the songs that I had already were definitely the dark side of love, like, divorce, being cheated on, those kind of things, and the heartbreak. And yeah, I was just like, what is missing from this collection? And what do I want to convey that hasn't been touched on yet?
Hmm.
And whereas I think before I might just be like, I'm upset about this. I'm gonna write about that. And,
And
you
then, is
know,
this song good? Is this a good song?
yeah, yeah. And it's like there's definitely still a place to just like write when you're feeling something for sure. But
Yeah.
if I am gonna sit down and write, thinking a little bit more cohesively about the project and just yeah, like yeah, what does like thinking of the project as like it an entity and what does it need from me that I haven't given to it yet?
Yes.
Yay.
I love that. Well, because that's how you're speaking
Mm,
of it, right? Like, oh, and it's allowing you to go deeper, and I love what you said, that you're like, "What's missing?" Right? What
yeah.
isn't what's missing from this recipe? What's missing that I haven't said yet? Which really
Mhm.
inspires another song and another concept, and then, as you said, it's inspired the whole second album that's gonna follow, and I love
Yeah.
that, seeing this as a project, that you are honoring. I think that's
Yes.
also really powerful, takes a little of the gives you a little distance from, like, "Oh, this is all about me," even though it is
Yeah.
ultimately you, but there's a
Yeah.
little distance, you're serving that project.
Right, right. There's a bigger picture. It's
Yeah.
some perspective. It's
Mhm.
not just like in my own little like world. It's like sharing that world and making it a complete world,
Mhm.
I think. And yeah, and
I love that.
the being encompassed is, like you said, what inspired the second EP idea as well, because I'm thinking, well, I've I've talked a lot about the dark side of my love, but I also like I am such a like loving person that like that I think there needs to be a space for that in my music too. And that if it's a project about lovers, like we're really missing something if we don't have that. You know? Like that's a big part of what like we're missing a whole EP there.
Yeah,
So
why do we fall in love at all, you know?
yeah. Oh my God. The first EP does not know. No.
That's right, the first EP does not know, that's right. Oh my god, that's amazing.
Yeah.
It's kinda like starting at the end and then starting at the beginning again, I love that.
Yeah, definitely. And that's kind of
You
what
know, I
happened to
think that
me.
also comes from maturity, because you couldn't write this EP without having had experiences, like, it's not your first
Yeah.
love EP, right? So you're in a way, you're starting at the end, the breakup, and then you get to start at the beginning again in a new way,
Yes.
and
Yes,
bloom
exactly.
again, like bloom again after the winter.
Ah,
To bring that full
boom.
circle again.
Yes, yes, yes. Because ultimately, like, I did have my divorce a few years ago, and I was like, I'm never gonna love again. Like, there's no one out there for me. And then fast forward to, I guess, almost 2 years ago now, I met my current partner, and it's been a process of like breaking down my walls again and
Mm.
realizing that I really can love again and that there is so much out there. And and I think I really wanted to share that too, that like yeah, you can feel this way and then you can also feel this way. you know
Try to remember, there's 7 billion people on this planet, and you have umpteen decades to still live. Chances are you
yeah,
will live again.
yeah.
But
Definitely,
I
definitely.
remember, like, I remember times when, after I had a breakup or a divorce, my divorce, I was like, I literally remember looking at a sunset in LA, and I was like, "I know that's beautiful, but I just can't feel it right now."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh,
I was like,
absolutely.
"Yeah, I
Yeah,
know
I've
it's
been there.
gorgeous, I just can't see it right now."
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, well,
Gotta
first
go
of all,
through
I
that
wanna
winter.
yeah. Before we wrap our thing, and if you're on TikTok, please join me on Instagram Live or on YouTube Live right now, and you can see Stevie having the conversation with me. Um, you're a wonderful gift. This has been a beautiful, beautiful conversation.
Aw.
I want to ask. I love to ask this last question to everybody, and it has a place in the future as well. What would you say to young Stevie?
Ooh, so many things, honestly, so many things. I think I think a biggest struggle for me has been caring about what people think, like, way too much, and I'm sure a lot of artists, intuitives feel that way, you know, we're empaths, we're perceiving, feeling other people's emotions, reactions, but I guess I would just say, you know, people will misunderstand you your whole life, and they'll think you mean one thing when you actually mean another thing. I've had a lot of that, and people will get you wrong even when you have the best intentions.
Mm,
So I think placing importance on, again, like the permission of other people is not going to be the key to happiness.
mm,
And that, like, people you love may hurt you, and that is the risk that we take when we're living life to the fullest. And it matters how you live with yourself, and
mm,
not about like the permission that other people give you or what they think or don't get. And I mean, this is really a reminder to myself, like, always. Still, but yeah, so I feel like that I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I let that quiet me. So
mm.
I won't,
You really have to follow your own compass.
Yeah, yeah,
And
truly.
it
I
actually is
try.
a fact. It is a fact that that people you love and who are close to you will betray you. It's just a part. It's literally written into the script of life. It will happen.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
several times, and then life opens back up again.
Mhm.
So, you know,
I love that. Thank you for
it's
being
worth
so
it.
open about your process, about your transformation and your world building and your EP. I love it.
Thank you
I
so much,
I see.
Wendy.
Oh
You're
gosh.
such a gift.
Thank you. I see the
Truly.
power and I feel the power of what's coming. And I know that everyone listening is going to be very hungry for this EP. Go follow Stevie,
Oh
pre-save as
my
they happen.
gosh.
Um,
Yes, please.
yeah,
Cake's
follow them
coming
on
out
Instagram.
Friday.
Keep your eyes open for the new EP this Friday. She's got a song dropping. You're definitely going to want to step into this world. And I'm super excited. You are opening for Lisa Heller on what day?
Yep, November 1st at the Moroccan Lounge in LA. Another fellow Compass artist who is a
Yes.
badass.
Yes.
Super excited to play with her. It's going to be a very good show.
It's gonna be a
And
very good show. I'm sad I'm not in LA for it, but LA,
I
peeps,
know
go to LA.
we will miss you. We will
Yeah.
miss you, but
And well, thank you again. This was a really just incredibly beautiful conversation, and I'm so excited
thank you,
for
Wendy.
the
Amazing
next.
questions, honestly. They got me thinking.
Awesome.
This was amazing. Appreciate you
Awesome.
having me, and always great to see you.
Yay. Well, thank
So
you for
yeah.
joining us on Backstage, Compass Backstage. The full videos are on YouTube. You can see past episodes there. And of course, join me live on my YouTube lives like this. Ask questions, come be a part of it. And we'll see you soon.
Thank you, Wendy.
Yeah.